So the Sapporo Snow Festival, there'll be a lot less people and a lot less money flowing through it this year. But it might be to the advantage of Western tourists because it will be less busy.
Wow.
Hello and welcome to the Abroad Japan podcast. Probably the best way of learning about life in Japan without actually being in Japan. I'm your host, Chris Broad. We're joined as always by England's top Japan enthusiast, Mr. Pete Dawson. Pete, how the devil are you doing? What's going on?
I'm good. What has been going on in my life? I am in the middle of having to think about how we, make the new Abroad Japan podcast coming soon, right at you. In the next episode.
Nah.
I'm not really thinking that hard. I'm
I'm an idiot. I did a press up yesterday and my arm hurts. I haven't done any exercise in since fucking April last year because I'm an idiot. And I was like, I'm going to get fit now. Did 5 press ups, collapsed, and last 2 days my arm's been broken.
Right.
And what am I doing?
I played 11-a-side, and I had what was approaching an asthma attack the next morning. I was like, I think I've got something called dysfunctional breathing. I have, at my ripe old age of mid-40s, just decided to forget how to breathe, which is just good stuff.
Sounds like sleep apnea.
It really is good stuff. But it's the only time I really love sleeping. So when I stop thinking about breathing, this is really nice. I just need, what I think I need to do is start taking those mushroom gummies that everyone's eating at this moment in time.
Mushroom gummies?
Everyone's gone wild for mushroom gummies in London.
What do they do?
Probably nothing. People yap on about, it's like it's the new CBD oil, isn't it? It's chilled you out. But
well, I mean, Charlotte's been using some CBD. We saw some CBD oil stuff. It was like buy one get one free.
Right.
Okay, let's try it.
Is that in Holden and Barrett's? Feels like a Holden and Barrett's.
And then Charlotte's been using it, and she thinks it's helping her.
Right. Yeah. Blazing 420. She's just out of her tree. I was like, fucking yes.
I remain skeptical. The reason I remain skeptical on CBD anything is because it's quite popular in Japan, and I know the Japanese government wouldn't allow it to be legal if it had
anything in it.
discernible effect. Right?
They weren't allowing vapes for the longest time. You couldn't get vape juice that had any nicotine in it, which is wild because the Japanese obviously love their tabs. But yeah, wild.
I mean, if it worked though, they wouldn't allow it.
Yeah.
But there's a shop, there's a restaurant I go to near Shibuya, and they're like, do you want a free CBD drop in your orange juice? And you're like, steady on now. I've got a long day ahead. Careful. And they put it in, and you feel nothing. And it's like,
not
cool.
even like just a little bit.
Well, they sort of do it for free, and then the next time they're like, now you have to pay.
Oh, get you hooked.
Bespoke service.
Get you hooked on the.
Yeah, essentially. But it does soddle.
What does CBD stand for?
Fucking crappy.
In my mind, it's CJD, which is the Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease, which is the mad cow disease we had in the 90s. It's Creutzfeldt's back-off disease.
It does nothing.
It does nothing. Okay.
But I really want to get fit. I'm very much an all-or-nothing person, right? I either go all in and I really do my best at something, or I don't. I just don't bother. I don't have any motivation. And I'm gearing up to go all in on getting fit. I say I'm gearing up. I can't do it just yet. Because I did 5 press-ups and I fell over.
Well, just don't start with press-ups.
How do you stretch? I suppose you just put your arms in front and push out hard and stretch, but I didn't do that.
But I think it's not about limbering up. It's presumably reducing the weight of it's the weight of your torso that is doing it. So you got to reduce that first, and then
that sounds like a posh insult. The weight of your torso is
but that's the whole thing. That's the whole resistant training, isn't it? It's just that.
Your torso.
I would recommend. Look, if you can't be asked for like running and stuff, but and
your mum's got a weighty torso.
Just get yourself some weights and do that.
Sure.
Because it's I've always found running very tedious. I love playing football because the pressure of the group is on you to do something. And that is I am peer pressure, Pete. That's the only reason why I'd ever do exercising. But if you're just doing like weights and stuff, like it's kind of like, it's quick. Do you know what I mean? The pain is like 10 seconds and then you've done.
I've got a really cool book that every year I'm like, I'm going to do this book. And then I don't. It's called Convict Conditioning. And a friend gave it to me like 12 years ago. And the book's idea is that the strongest men in like the 20th century were those who used their own body weight to build their muscles, rather than like getting a weight and artificially, inflating your muscle to a ridiculous degree.
Sure,
you use the
muscles,
strength of your body,
muscles.
right? Well, your muscles are like toned, and so like, and they have like, I think it's like 7 or 8 different exercises you have to master,
right?
And there's levels to them, and like for press ups, it starts with like you're on your knees, right? Level 1. Anybody can do it, right? In theory. You're on your knees doing a press up. Next level, you're doing a regular press up.
Yeah.
Next level, you're doing one arm press up. And you do that by putting like books under your left arm or whatever.
Right, okay,
and
okay.
Then you gradually read it.
Yeah, nice.
And it ends by each workout doing some sort of almost like a trick or some sort of impressive display. And I think the press up one is you do like an upside down handstand.
Oh,
and like you level up to it. So
Right.
like first of all, it starts with like using a wall. So you'd look at this wall and you'd like use your body weight against it and do the press up so you don't topple over.
So you end up sort of being upside down, pushing your head into the ground.
And by the end of it,
Yeah.
in theory, your muscles are so good you can just do it anyway. You just do an upside down push up without a wall, and you've built up to it slowly.
Yeah.
It's a fascinating book. I never got anywhere near doing any of those tricks. I've done like 10 press ups, so I'm like, that'll do.
I got in shape in 20... when me and my partner
It was like an event.
Yeah.
In 2025.
When me and my partner were courting, always the way, I got in shape, in pretty decent shape at that, and I still think, every January I think I'll get it back. Never fucking get it.
Well, you look all right. You look all right for your age.
A little frog.
I have a weighted torso. Weighted
Having
torso.
asthma attacks left, right, centre.
But I really want to do about the idea with the convict conditioning is if you're a convict in a prison,
you've got nothing else to do.
you don't need weight. You just sit in your cell and just get fit. And it's kind of,
Or put hot sugar in a kettle and throw it at somebody else.
you could do that.
I'm obsessed with
That's
it. I'm obsessed with avoiding getting hot sugar thrown on me.
What the fuck?
So what convicts
What have you been doing?
in prison? That's just like, if you're allowed access to a kettle, they put sugar in it and throw it at you.
Jesus. But not if you do convict conditioning because you'll be fit.
A dodge out
You'll
the way.
be so fit you'll do an upside down handstand and flip off out a window. But
you see Ilan Omar fucking put the jokes up when that bloke sprayed the I don't know what it was. I think fucking come on, have a bit of this.
Jesus. But
Brilliant.
I'd like to do that. It's not going to happen. But fitness is back on the agenda. And we've got another cyclothon, I think, going on in April. The details of which we can't.
To be fair, like you do quite a lot of cycling.
I do one cycle a year for 2 weeks. That's it.
Yeah, but that's
not good
that's
enough.
more exercise than most people do. They just like that's more conditioning than I've ever done. Your cycling, your working out is exclusively stream based cyclothon.
I with the cyclothon, it's what's interesting about the cyclothon. We do it once a year, right?
Yeah.
But I've learned that even I do nothing in between. I put
It's
on weight.
wild
I
that
get
you can.
unfit.
It's wild that you can even do.
Well, what I've learned
cyclothon.
is your body, your like muscles really do have a sort of memory to them, and as long as you work out a bit, you can reactivate them quite quickly.
Right.
As long as you, I find a year might seem like a long time, but it's not really. And it seems that my leg muscles a year later pick up very quickly from where they left off, but even without doing any exercise in between.
Well, my leg muscles are rather defined because they're carrying a bit of timber these days. They've got a lot of work to do.
But Cyclothon 1, really, it was only 8 days and it broke me. Cyclothon 2 was quite difficult, and that was like 12 days or something. The third one was 14 days, extremely difficult. We tackled Mount Fuji on the last day, but it was quite easy.
Yeah.
And then the fourth one was a piece of piss in hindsight. So
Get on the jabs, Chris. Get on the jabs. Why don't we both get on the jabs?
We'll take one every
we'll
episode. Because now we're in a weekly schedule. We could do the jab every week.
I'll go on cycle steroids. You can do Mongiano, what it's called. Buongiorno.
Before that, though, we got a story from Tim from Brighton. And he says, hello, Yakitori Chris and Sushi Pete. A couple of weeks ago, while aboard a busy local train from Ueno to Saitama, a friend and I were standing next to the doors, clutching the hand straps when a panting perspiring Japanese man, maybe in his mid-20s, ran onto the train moments before the doors closed. He was clearly exhausted and overheating as he bent his torso down, wincing his eyes with sweat dripping from his forehead. With no seats available, he stood by the doors opposite us, panting. A couple of minutes later, we heard a dull thud. Turning around, we saw the poor gentleman lying on his back amongst the commuter's feet, face white as a sheet, eyes wide open and darting around the train. He looked just as shocked as the rest of us. The people around us, all Japanese, initially didn't really respond or help him, instead averting their gaze so as not to draw any attention or get involved. My friend and I did the same, wanting to blend in with the locals, which makes me feel kind of guilty, to be honest. Eventually, though, someone did help him. The ladies sat in the priority seats next to him, offered their seats, but he insisted, daijoubu, it's okay. And he repeatedly declined. He then stood in his original spot, eyes down, with everyone else looking away as well. We felt extra bad that we couldn't offer him anything. We had no drinks, no seats to offer. A couple of stops later, when the train had emptied, he then took a seat and looked to relax. Have you ever witnessed anything similar to this, where Japanese culture of not wanting to stand out may have been to their detriment? By the way, we will be taking advantage of the recently announced digital nomad visa to work in Japan for 6 months next year. A visa that I feel doesn't get promoted enough. All the best, Tim from Brighton. Yes, there is a visa for digital nomads. I want to be a digital nomad. How cool is that?
You are a digital nomad.
But before that, I suppose.
Silly sausage.
I've never seen anything like that. I nearly passed out on a train myself once. I was running through West Tokyo in the height of summer. I had a big suitcase with me and my rucksack, and it was like 40 degrees or something. It was like 38 degrees Celsius. Really hot. And I got on the train, and then everything started going black around my eyes.
Tunnel vision.
Yeah. And I've only had that once in my life when I was a kid, and I injured myself. And it was really scary, because you feel like your body's about to shut down.
Yeah.
And luckily, I got under the air conditioning unit on the train, and it lowered my body temperature, and it was like a video game. It's really weird. Have you ever had it?
Yes, twice. Once when I had a tattoo on the bone of my shin.
And the pain made you like almost faint?
Yeah. It was a hot day. I hadn't really eaten any. It's always food related for me.
Right.
And also when I gave blood once, they only could do half a bag and then gave me a leaflet saying, "So you nearly passed out."
Oh Jesus!
I hadn't eaten anything in the morning. I'm an idiot. I'm a fucking idiot.
Get a fry up.
Get a big fry up.
Get your sausages. It's a scary thing though. And I remember thinking, when it was happening to me, I think I was on the platform actually when it was peaking, and then the train arrived and I got on, and the air conditioning helped cool my body temperature down. But I remember thinking, if I pass out here on the platform in this state, in this heat,
I'll just melt.
Probably it would take a few minutes for somebody to come over and help. I don't know. And I could be in a serious situation, because clearly my body temperature was extremely high, and I needed to get into an air-conditioned environment.
Is it head between your legs? That kind of helps, doesn't it? I think. Was that for high blood pressure?
My head would have been on the railway tracks. It was genuinely quite scary. I think it could have been quite serious, so I hadn't cooled down that day rapidly. So be careful.
That's why you always must carry a Coolish with you.
It would have helped.
Would have helped.
You could put it in your forehead, cool yourself down, then get that nice hit of sugar.
Yeah, exactly. Completely
Absolutely. I'll tell you who won't be getting that nice hit of sugar. Chinese tourists in Japan.
Right.
Because they're not coming.
Well, they could go somewhere else. For Coolish is a famously, Lottie is a...
Japan's loss is Hartlepool's upside.
It's a handicap.
Turn those Air China planes around. Yeah. They're not going to take you. They're going to Hartlepool, North England.
It's just been announced that that Keir Starmer's managed to secure a visa-free UK passport trip to China. So you don't need to have a visa for China anymore.
Keir Starmer he's in China. He's met Xi Jinping.
Yeah.
And he gave him a football. Did you hear he gave him a football?
Did he give him a football?
Because I didn't know this. Xi Jinping supports Manchester United.
Does he now?
And when he came over to the UK in 2015 for the golden era nonsense, and him and David Cameron went to a pub, he was like, I want to go and see Manchester United. I want to see Old Trafford.
Right.
And for some reason, they were like, we can't do that, but we'll show you Manchester City.
Right.
And he was like, you fucking what? And they took him to, can you imagine that?
Well,
that's such a step down.
If you were trying to impress anyone, I would say Old Trafford is such a dilapidated place now.
It's his team.
It's his team. You want to watch them away.
Head of
Manchester City.
He's
maybe
China's leader. You want to be like, I'll show you what you want.
Like Kash Patel, the FBI director, he's saying that when he was over, because he loves a freebie, that guy, and he come over and he wanted to watch a Premier League match. It's like, mate, you're having a meeting with MI5. We're not taking you a Premier League match.
So it's a Keir Starmer. I think he supports Arsenal. Xi Jinping supports Manchester United. There was a game recently, wasn't there, between the two or something?
Right. Yeah.
And he got the football from it, and he gifted.
Oh, did he? Right. Okay.
That.
Oh, that's a bit.
And in return, China's like visa-free access.
Yes. Yeah. We can
power of football.
Stuff, yeah.
While Takaichi, Prime Minister Takaichi's drumming with South Korea.
Yeah. I don't think a Vissel Kobe ball has quite as much of a rub to it. Yeah. I mean, so the story as it goes.
Yes.
in the news story for this week, China's cancelling a lot of flights. 49 routes from China to Japan. It looks to be affecting a hell of a lot of tourism crowds on the way to the island. All scheduled flights on 49 routes between mainland China and Japan have now been cancelled for the entire month of February. Big holiday month for the Chinese and the Japanese as well. It's a huge step up from January's high cancellation rate of about 47%. These cancellations affect popular services linking major cities and airports on both sides. The Chinese government have not only been roughhousing the Chinese carriers into cancelling flights, but they're also issuing strong travel warnings, urging citizens to avoid trips to Japan, especially over Spring Festival holiday in mid-February. They've said that public safety is destroyed in Japan. Reports of crimes targeting Chinese travellers, seismic activity in parts of Japan, basically framing these as reasons to avoid.
I mean, it's very excessive. I think most people thought this would all sort of die down by now, right? This is because about a month ago, the new Prime Minister, Takaichi, was sort of said if Taiwan was in a battle with China, they would come to their aid and give them some support. China was obviously very angry about that. Given China and Japan have a very strong trading relationship, China was like, why would you do this? Why would you ever say anything like that? And so they started cancelling flights and started sort of encouraging Chinese tourists to avoid going to Japan. I think these sort of things happen every other year. There's something that happens, right? But I thought it would die off by now. I thought maybe at this point it would sort of be forgotten. And
it also kicked off around sort of December time, didn't it? And there was a lot of cancellations then, and then now they've just gone deeper and deeper, I suppose.
And interestingly, it's sort of played into the hands. It's sort of played into the hands of both the Chinese government and the Japanese government, I think. Yeah. Because in China, it makes them look strong and good, the leadership, and in Japan, it makes them look strong and determined. And if you ask most
unless you're a hotelier,
well, if you ask most Japanese people, they don't overly like having busloads of Chinese tourists turn up a lot of the time, and I think it's become a thing where people are sort of excited by the drop in tourists to some extent. Like I said, I read an article about Miyajima Island in Hiroshima being a lot more quiet than it typically would be, especially around this time of year. Yeah, as you mentioned, the Chinese New Year. A lot of Chinese tourists come on these sort of buses and big tour trips in huge groups.
Right.
Whereas typically from the UK, it's just Bill and Cassandra coming over for a 60-year wedding anniversary trip. In China, it's very much the big tour buses, and I think that's synonymous with Chinese tourists. So I think that image is sort of, the idea that those big buses aren't coming anymore is great, and a lot of people like that. But I think it could
will destroy
the economy.
Yeah. It will destroy them in the long run.
It won't destroy them, but I think
that has to be. But China has to be their major kind of input.
The failure to export rare earth minerals is just as serious because all the Japanese cars and manufacturing rely on those rare earth minerals, and not getting those could really hamper aspects of the Japanese economy. It's a tough thing. On the one hand, I think it's maybe it's a good thing for Japan to clarify what its stance on Taiwan is. On the other hand, they didn't need to say that, and they could have had the tourists and the money coming from China. So it's a sort of choose your own adventure. If you look at it to some extent, it's politically a great move because people are like, we don't want busloads of tourists coming over. Well done, like Sanai Takaichi, well done. And now she's called this election in the weeks ahead
to consolidate their power.
That'll probably play into her hand. And then maybe after that, she'll be like, sorry, China, woohoo. After she's consolidated her position, maybe she'll take a step back from it. But I don't think Taiwan is going to be an issue anymore. Do you see that Xi Jinping had fired his top military defense minister for some corruption scandal?
But he's always doing night long knives, isn't it? It's kind of
a lot of the people in the top running the Chinese military have been axed out of their positions. Right. So I don't think China's going to be in a position to do anything with Taiwan really for a long time now. Because a lot of people would sort of earmark 2027 as the year that China might do something. But I think the likelihood of that has collapsed now.
I think it would be. I don't know whether it'd be foolish to do it now or really intelligent, because you sort of think that there's one major power that's abdicated responsibility or abdicated any interest in building any kind of relationship with the rest of the world, and that's the US. So China are just going to come in and just
give me Greenland.
I mean, look at
Greenland.
Give
me Greenland.
You got the Canada Premier over there. You've got Keir Starmer over there now. It's they would be daft to be making big moves that would be problematic.
Yeah, it's interesting dynamic. I mean, you've got China. You've got Canada and the UK going over and meeting China. On the other hand, you've got Japan sort of isolating itself from it. And it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out, to be honest. I think this whole travel advisory thing's nonsense, though. Don't go to Japan if you're, on your travels, you might be attacked or something could go wrong.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
That's nonsense.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons this has been so successful, cancelling the routes, is they're refunding people. The government's stepping in to help refund people. Millions of travellers that would go. And I remember that when we went to the Sapporo Snow Festival, which is the first week of February, the amount of tourists that come from China for that are, huge.
And they've got their own cracking snow festivals, haven't they?
Yeah,
Spend a lot
North
of money
China.
on that, yeah.
And so the Sapporo Snow Festival, there'll be a lot less people and a lot less money flowing through it this year. But it might be to the advantage of Western tourists because it will be less busy. Hotels will be less full.
More
and cheaper.
room for YouTubers.
More room for Pete Donaldson's big holiday.
Pete Donaldson's big holiday.
So if you're on the fence of going to Japan the next 2 or 3 months, go now. Because the hotels will be far less busy. Given that I think China's the largest source of tourists to Japan, along with South Korea and Taiwan, and that will be noticeably. There'll be a noticeable effect on the ground at hotels and venues in the next few months. Yeah. So go.
Interesting. Go now.
Go now before they become friends again.
Yeah, true.
We're back in a moment, guys. We have stories, comments and questions over in the fax machine.
Wow.
And we're back with the fax machine. What have we got this week from our listeners, Mr. Dawson?
We have got a message from, let's have a look here. We've got a message from Brian. Hello, Brian.
Hey.
Hi, Chris and Pete. As British folks, you'll be familiar with the typical slow Sunday when you don't have any particular plans. A nice long lie-in or a gentle morning. A man without children, by the sounds of it, Brian. A roast meal in the afternoon, bit of life admin in the evening. What's the Japanese equivalent? Would they head to an onsen for a few hours or do the same, just substituting the roast for ramen? What's their weekly rhythm? Curious to hear
that's a good question.
Yeah. Is there a kind of... they're kind of still dictated by the rules and regs.
Well, it's not the day. It's not the day of the Sabbath, is it?
Yeah, no.
They get a ramen.
It's the day of
ramen
ramen.
restaurants, like the queues are like a joke on Sunday.
Right.
That's
their salty meal. That's their lovely salty meal.
Why have a roast dinner when you can have a ramen? Just like ramen shops,
right?
Get flooded on Sunday, and I try and avoid dining out.
Salty,
weekends.
porky broth. Lovely.
Avoid eating out on a Sunday, but that's pretty much it, really.
Great stuff. I mean, So it is just ramen. Maybe go for a walk. Maybe go for a stroll around.
Well, I don't think people really lie in Japan much.
No,
I think most people see those 2 days off as like a chance to go and do stuff.
Probably a rest from drinking at the weekend, isn't it?
Probably, yeah. Although young folks aren't drinking as much now, apparently, in Japan.
Right.
So. Angus from Switzerland says, hello, Chris and Pete. Is the Nakasendo particularly steep or scary?
Oh.
While I love hiking, I'm a bit afraid of heights. Are there any parts that I should avoid? I'm also a big fan of Japanese mythology, in particular yokai. Are there any good places to learn about them? And do either of you have a favourite Japanese mythological creature? Mine are the sea blob. The sea blob, like a big bloke. Umibozu. And that woman that throws sand at travellers. Oh, my God. I hope this finds you well. Love the podcast. Keep it up. Angus from Switzerland.
I'd not heard about the sand, the throwing things at tourists vibe.
It's just a drunkard at Southend.
Yeah, it's a horrible lady. Oh, she looks like when they dressed up the... so I think there was a Sunakake Baba.
Sunakake Baba.
I presume it was brought to life in the what do you call it? Power Rangers TV show.
All right, yeah.
So I think there was a version of that, and she looks like when they dressed up the gremlin, the lady gremlin in a dress.
Oh, God.
Give you worrying thoughts.
In the most recent video, we went to the largest yokai monster museum in Japan. Really cool place. You've got to go to Shorashima to get there. which is a bit of effort, but it's worth it. And there was a Yorkshire creature that was just a sake bottle with a face on, and I think it was supposed to be like a comment on alcoholism. Yeah.
Barry Booze.
Barry Booze says, "Don't drink me." Nakasendo, it's not steep. It's not steep. It can be scary. It can be a bit scary. Right. On day 2,
you with Natsuki.
There was Natsuki. I think he burnt the forest down with firecrackers at one point. And also bears. It was like bear season.
Right.
And every step of the way, someone was like, somebody just got murdered by a bear.
Oh, God.
Down that forest.
Don't care
Good
for
luck.
that. Do not care
So,
for that.
a bit scary. But I did feel like a connection to Yorkshire culture being in those mountains. Because you sort of associate Yorkshire with mountain
Spooky
villages.
forests.
Yeah.
Right.
So, Nakasendo. Loved it. One of my favourite videos
Do
we
it.
made last year.
Crying out loud.
And finally, Brendan says, "Hello, Chris and Pete. I distinctively remember that drunk Chris and Connor were wanting to train and compete in an Olympic distance triathlon in the future."
Doesn't sound like them.
Yeah, it's just still on the table. For context, I quit my job in August 2024 to pursue a professional career in long distance triathlon stuff, and would love to see Chris and Connor do it. I started the Abroad Japan podcast from episode 1 and caught up to the latest episodes within 6 months, all while cycling, running, and gymming. Kind regards, Brendan. Jesus, can you imagine doing that? How many episodes we got? Hundreds, thousands, millions.
And how do you kind of pursue a professional career in long distance triathlon?
Get fit and run.
I mean, wow. I want to see.
Do some press ups.
Good luck, Brendan. I don't know. I feel like it's one of those things you have to start when you're like 10. I don't know.
Well, he's attached a photo of me because Brendan, it turns out, came to Lost Bar. Smart lad.
Yeah.
It was great meeting you, Chris, in Lost Bar at the open day, and your suggestion to bring more water than expected was much appreciated while we cycled the Shimanami Kaido in 35-degree heat. Very good. I look nice and slim in that photo. That's depressing. But thank you, Brendan. Thank you
When
very
was
much.
it?
I'm glad you did the Shimanami.
See your little moustache?
Probably a year ago.
It's thinning.
It's gone.
It's gone. You could
Like
bring
my
it back.
jawline.
You bring it back.
But well done, Brendan, on doing the triathlon. Fuck knows. I want to do it,
How long's a triathlon?
but it's probably going to not happen for a while
Right.
because I'm
How long?
not. If I can't do 5 press ups, I can't run 50 kilometers.
Right. It's 20.
How long is it?
So there's sprints involved as well. 5-kilometer run.
Oh,
Most people can. Oh, so it's a sprint. You got to run as fast as you can for
crikey.
5 kilometers.
not going to happen.
No, not
Not going to
gonna
happen.
20-kilometer bike you could probably make.
If the triathlon's just a bicycle ride, count me in. But until that day, not happening.
Not ideal. Not ideal. Can you do the backstroke on the swimming bit?
Yeah, that's easy.
Are you allowed to do backstroke though? Is
Probably
that allowed?
not.
No, probably.
Probably not.
Okay, all right. Fine.
Keep the stories, questions, comments coming into Abroad Japan Podcast at gmail.com. We'll be back. We'll be back.
We'll be black.
We'll be back.
We'll see. Well, the next episode is going to be a reinvention of the show. So, I mean, we'll see how that one pans out, shall we?
We'll be back.
We'll
With
be
more
back.
coffee.
Right.
In the next Abroad Japan Podcast. For now, guys, have yourselves a good one. See you then. Take care.
Ta-ta.